So regardless of what platform you're joining me on, please like, please share, please comment, please subscribe, because we're going to be on, oh, it looks like I added a YouTube channel this time. So it looks like we're going to be on YouTube, LinkedIn, and both of my Facebook pages. And then after, it'll be uploaded to pretty much all of the major podcast platforms. So again, thank you for your continued support. I got to do a quick plug first before I bring Brian on, because we turned Shut Up and Grind, the podcast, into a book. It just hit stores. It hit Amazon just last week. And this particular one is going to be about overcoming self-doubt and the fear of public speaking. Now, this isn't like any book where you're just going to pick it up and just read about my life story. There's 13 worksheets built into this book, 13. And it's going to take you from whatever it is, whatever struggle you overcame, into how to turn it into a keynote presentation, or if it's just something that you need to journal so you can heal from whatever past pain you need. But there's nothing like this on the market. So it's $10 for the Kindle version, $20 if you want a paperback. All right, there's that plug. Now let's get to my guest. He is the host of I forgot the name of the show. Here he is, Brian Snow. How you doing, sir? What's the show? It's
Snowman in the morning.
Snowman in the morning. I knew I should have wrote it down. I was like, nah, I got it. But hey, see, it's good when you have a live stream, because it's good to have comical moments like that. So, All right, just give us some of your background.
Well, you told me in pre-show to strip away all the hats, all the normal hats, and you said what's left. Well, I'll tell you what's left. I'm a goofball who loves cartoons, old game shows, and sports.
Okay.
I'm a combination where some days you just look up and go,
"Oh, hell no!"
And then you think, and then sometimes you think,
"Ain't nobody got time for that."
And then you just sit down and a bell rings and you know what to do.
He's got all the sounds
for that day. But let's see how else to describe myself. If I may borrow from the 1976 hit movie Network, sometimes you just need to scream out,
"I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value."
Right?
That's great. Yes.
I mean, it's easy for me to lean on sports.
Michael on the drive across the lane, turnaround shot, got it. 63 for Jordan.
I can picture that shot too. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
That's who I am. I am a walking version of the legendary Trek Brown, who was the sound editor for Looney Tunes for many, many years. I just take each day as it comes, man. I mean, sometimes you need to get knocked upside the head.
Come on!
And take a few lumps before you meet your
fatality
and your life is over. But and sometimes you get a couple of right in your face, and you wonder, what's that for? Then you get another, and then that's it. And then sometimes life gives you and you're like, hey, why are you laughing at me? But then you laugh back at it, and then you think, and off to the races we go.
With a solid start. That's awesome. All right, so before we get into what you're doing now, how would you describe your childhood upbringing?
How would I describe my childhood upbringing? Well, 2 words.
Can't wait.
For every day.
Okay.
Like I said, I love cartoons and I love old game shows. I never thought of serious stuff until I became an adult. And I got a couple of
bazinga
for every day. I'm thinking, okay, I don't have to do this. Ha, wrong. But that's me. I'm a goofball. I love to laugh. I love to kid around with people. I joke with my wife all the time, and she jokes with me, and she jokes with me in return. And sometimes she thinks,
"Are you kidding me?"
that it took so long for us to meet. Thank you, Paul Allen, for that one. But it's fun. I try to have fun in life.
Love it. So what did you have for a dream career when you were growing up?
How do I answer that question? Let's see. I'll answer it this way. My first ever dream job was this.
For a game show host.
Yep.
Believe it or not, I wanted to do that too. But go ahead.
Yep. In particular, I wanted to host The Price is Right. But then I realized I'm too short and I'm too young to do it. So I got into the next best thing.
A ground ball past Jenks up the middle of the infield. Uribe has it. He throws. Out! A White Sox winner and a world championship. The White Sox have won the World Series, and they're mobbing each other on the field.
I figure since I can't play any sports, I'll call them. Why not?
Love it. So how'd you first break into that?
Oh, that's a funny story. 1995, December 7th. I was at Chicago State University in the theater department, and my friend Kevin was going to check out a camera to film the game that was happening that night between Chicago State and Northern Illinois. And I said, Kevin, can you attach a microphone to that? And he said, yeah, what do you have in mind? And somehow an evil smile crossed to my face. So I want to try an idea because my favorite play-by-play announcer of all time is the late, great Jim Durham, who was the voice of the Chicago Bulls for many years. And we went to the gym, got permission to film. So we went up on the track and attached the microphone to the camera, and without any notes and just a roster, we did like a 3-minute pregame, and that was my first play-by-play call. Little did I realize we created a monster, even though many have said to me,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Here I am in my 29th year doing play-by-play, man.
Love it. All right, so you break into it, and how, like, did you just flow into it? Were there some learning curves? Like, did you have any gaps in the beginning that you wish you could get back?
Let me think. Do I have any gaffes in the beginning? Yep, plenty of them. Plenty of them. Oversleeping, missing games, not taking it seriously to the point where some of the folks at Chicago State who had said I'm the play-by-play man for men's basketball, but then I started taking it for granted, and then they think, and I had to get on the ball. By 1999, I had learned a lot of lessons, a lot, in terms of keeping a schedule, in terms of keeping the grind going, in terms of how to dress for the occasion, how to prepare for the occasion. Because sometimes I would just think, okay, I can show up, look at the line, look at the rosters, and I'm ready to go. Wrong answer. Matter of fact, wrong answer. There's some preparation that does go into every game, and it's a lesson I carry to this day.
Okay, was that the biggest lesson?
Being prepared. Two biggest lessons: being prepared. Let me say it another way: playing the part as well as looking the part. And for a while, I wasn't looking the part, and I let too many excuses get in the way. Not anymore.
Okay, looking the part. How so?
Shirt, tie, pants, being fresh, being ready.
Yeah.
Just being ready.
Okay. And now, does that speak to your authenticity, the shirt, the tie, or is that what was required from the company?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Okay.
I authentically dress in a shirt and tie, though sometimes I don't take that lesson when I'm here at home, and that's my mistake.
Yeah.
Getting back into that. But it's being ready. Yeah. Always staying ready and always being ready.
Yeah, one of my go-to lines is, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like getting back to authenticity, see, and that works for you. It's like someone like me that wouldn't work for, because like I manage a fitness business. You know, I'm an athlete. This is my authenticity.
Yeah.
You know, for me to show up in a suit and a tie, back when I managed restaurants, yeah, we could do that because that's what it required. But this is my platform. You know, like I can show up as literally my true self, and you wouldn't catch me wearing a suit and tie unless I'm at somebody's wedding. It's like no matter where
Agreed.
I go, I go to networking events just like this, and like people will look at me sideways. I'm like, hey, I'm a fitness guy. It's like this is my authenticity. Like if you can't take it, then I guess this isn't the event for me. But like
Exactly.
I'm not gonna change who I am just to like make it seem like I'm something I'm not. Like this is who I
Hmm.
am.
Hmm.
Hello,
And you
Bray. How
should,
are you?
and you shouldn't change who you are. You should not. You should not change who you are at all. When I lived in North Carolina, and my wife and I went to a game that I had to call, I put on my uniform, shirt, tie, got dressed, and everything. And the fellow who I called the game for said the same thing. You'll never catch me in a shirt and tie, and I'm on the air also. I looked at him and I go,
Did you not get the memo?
"This is who I am.
Yes, exactly.
This is who I am." He didn't like it, but he lived with it. And he said, "Do you ever?" I'll never forget. He asked me this question: "Do you ever like tone it down when you're on assignment?" No, because when it's time to strap the headset on,
You got all the sounds on already.
it it's time to go. It's time to go. It's go time.
Yeah. I love it when I'm a guest on podcasts and I'll like if they vet me first, like yesterday, a woman did like a vet call with me,
Mhm.
and then she immediately booked me afterwards. But when they don't do a vet call and I show up, and they see me in the tank top, and I can always see from the facial expressions, but then we get to talking and they see I know what I'm talking about. I'm well versed in what I'm talking about, and I project very well. Then it's like you can overlook it. It's like they don't even notice it after that. But
And there.
it's just that initial, because there's a stigma to almost everything. Like if you're going to be professional, you have to show up a certain way, and
Mhm.
that's not true. It's not what I'm wearing for my shirt. It's the content of what we're putting out and
Exactly.
the audience's receptance to the content that we're putting out. That's what matters. Like usually after they ask me the first question, they've totally forgotten the fact that I'm sitting here not in a suit and a tie,
Mhm.
professionally dressed.
Exactly. I mean, they see you in a tank top, knowing what the base of your content is, and they think,
Ah, crap!
but then you get going, and that's that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what is one of the biggest setbacks you had to overcome?
Let's see. Tails. Yep. Being told I sounded white.
Yeah,
Something
I've heard that my entire life.
I still get it to this day, and I'm 52.
Yeah, I'm 50.
I still get it. I still get it to this day.
Hmm.
My wife even teases me about it. She says, you're not supposed to sound like that. And whenever she does it, and I know she means it as a joke, and I'm just sitting there rolling because it's something that I've had to overcome for
Yes.
many, many years.
Mm.
And I said, I don't care. Give you this one. Had a game to do at a high school in Chicago, and they asked me to be their public address announcer. So they asked me to test everything, had it tested, and it was an all-star game. And one of the kids came up to me and said, "You're not supposed to sound like that." Really? How am I supposed to sound? You're supposed to sound like one of us. Yeah, but there's two differences with that. I said, what's that? One, you're not me. And two, I got all this money. You didn't. And I went home.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I heard that my entire life, and it's like my both of my parents are from the hood,
Yep.
but like when I was young, they moved us out. I think I was 2.5. I want to say they
Hmm.
moved us out, and we speak the way we were raised. Like I say, it has nothing to do with skin color. It has to do with the product of your environment.
Exactly.
Because like even white people, Hispanic people, if they grow up in that neighborhood, they're gonna adopt that societal norm.
Yep.
I grew up in the woods. So I grew up in the woods. Like I didn't have to be street tough or street hard. You know what I mean? We focused on goals. We focused on accomplishments. We didn't focus on street cred. It's like I'm sure had we stayed in New York City, maybe I would have adapted those surroundings. But we didn't. Like it has nothing to do with skin color. And it's like every time I've heard that, like it drove me insane. But what can you
I
do?
grew up in Chicago for many, many years. I grew up in Chicago most of my life and got the same kind of thing, especially when other students heard me speak or they would see me giving a presentation or something like that. And like, you're not supposed to sound like that. One of my favorite voice actors is the late, great Mel Blanc, who did all the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Love Bob Barker, love Jim Perry, Alex Trebek, Peter Tamarkin, who did Press Your Luck for many years.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved all those guys. And my mother used to drive me insane. How come you don't have a black play-by-play announcer on your list? Mom, for the simplest fact that there isn't one. She had to sit and think about it.
Yeah.
All right. And I would drive her absolutely mad with the many voices that I would copy, including
Kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit.
She called home one day and my sister picked up the phone and she talked with her, and my sister called me and she said, "Brian, Mom wants to talk to you." She handed me the phone and I go, "What's up, Doc?" And my mom, I could have swore my mom fell out in laughter.
Oh man. So how did you move forward in spite of all those stigmas? Because so many people are people pleasers and they'll try to act a certain way around a certain group just to gain their acceptance. So how did you stay your true authentic self even though you were getting those criticisms?
I kept watching sports. I kept listening.
Yeah.
I kept going. Period. I kept going. I know what I wanted to do. I know what I love to do. Like I said, I drove my parents nuts, more so my mom than my dad, because dad helped me along because one day mom had a tape recorder. I borrowed said tape recorder and taped a Bulls game on the radio, taped the first quarter of it, and I put it back and I had it in my ears and I was listening to it. And I would try to repeat everything that I heard. Well, Mom yelled at me and said, "Don't use my tapes again." And then Dad comes up and points a finger at me and says, "Yeah, don't use your mother's tapes again." Waits for my mom to go downstairs, reaches behind his back and said, "Use these instead," and buys me a whole brick of audio tapes.
Okay.
I hide them in the closet, and my mom's none the wiser. It's like, nah. I got my practice material anyway.
Love it. Yeah, like I always wanted to be like a motivational speaker. It's like I never knew back then. We're talking late '80s. Like I never knew like just anyone could be, because who was big back then? Like Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn. Those guys. It's like I thought you had to be some type of special person with some special skill set in order to do it. But when I was 17 years old, I'll never forget this. I was in my backyard. Remember, I told you I grew up in the woods. So like there's all trees. And so I found this stick and turned this stick into my microphone. And
I love it.
And I'm in the back giving just speech to the trees. And then I hear, "Hey boy." And I look back, my mom is up on the stairs and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I told her, I was like, "I'm motivating the masses." So the trees, look at you dying. The trees was my audience.
You know what I used to do?
What's that?
When my dad worked for the post office, he used to wear suits. Now, I got how to dress for work from him, from my late father.
Yeah.
He had these pants hangers that I could tear apart. One of my favorite games, aside of The Price is Right, one of my favorite game shows was Match Game with Gene Rayburn. So instead of a stick, I used the pants hanger, attach a piece of yarn to it, and I'm Gene Rayburn.
I love it. That's why you cracked up so much.
I'm doing Match Game cut it in half, and I'm doing the prices right. Save it. And one of my other favorite game shows was The Joker's Wild. My mom and my dad hated when I would find things and I'd use them as props and try to copy the game show I was watching.
Yeah.
There was an old Bissell cleaner
Yeah.
in the.
Go ahead.
There was an old Bissell cleaner in the closet, and I wanted to do the bonus game. And I had gotten a plastic bowling game for Christmas.
Okay.
I'm like, what the hell? I'll try it. I bring the said cleaner upstairs to my room with The Joker's Wild in front of me on television.
Yeah.
And I said, how am I going to make this little ball stay on top of the cleaner? Well, guess what? Brian just happened to find some electrical tape and it was black. The handle was black and so was the ball. Take the ball to the handle and there you go. We got a one-armed bandit. And I was doing great till my mother needed to use the cleaner. Like, I am dead. I'm dead. Dad comes racing upstairs and said, do you have the... And he stopped his question, saw what I'd done. He went into the bedroom, took a pair of scissors and cut it off. He said, man, will you get this downstairs before your mother finds it?
Oh, that's great. That's great. So a couple of things I wanted to do growing up. Now, my father, my late father, he was an engineer. I mean, the man could do anything that had to be built. He could do any facet of it, electrical, plumbing, like all of it, carpentry. And so at first, because, you know, I would help him on all these projects. So at first I wanted to be a carpenter, but I also wanted to be a DJ. You know, like I love music. So I was working. So like I saved money. I bought a turntable, saved money, bought another one, bought a mixer, and I made the most ghetto entertainment center you will have ever seen. I don't know if my sister is still on because she was on, but Monique, if you are, let me know if you remember that entertainment center. It was like the worst thing ever. I did not get that gene from my father, the ability to build anything. But anyway, it served its purpose. You're cracking up because you probably have a similar story. But yeah, it was so ghetto. I made the most ghetto microphone holder because I wasn't going to buy one. I was like, I can make one. And it was the most hideous thing I've ever seen in my life. But going full, all right, yeah, she said she does remember. Gosh. Yeah, it was off. I look back now. Back then, I thought I was the man. I was like, look at this thing. And I'll never forget the look on my father's face the first time, because I was proud of it. I was like, Dad, look at what I did. And he comes in and he just the look in his face. It's like, what the hell is that? Oh my God, it's too funny. But you gotta tell me your story. I see you dying over there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I used to make all kinds of crazy microphones. They never worked, but I used to make them out of the pants hangers. Okay.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
So I too wanted to be a DJ, but then I also wanted to be an announcer. Well, at the time, I got wind of one of my favorite PA announcers of all time. He's still in Chicago, and his name is Gene Honda. And I heard how he would call names out.
Yeah.
Why did someone give me a microphone at Chicago State to do that? So they were telling me at Chicago State how I should announce everybody.
Yeah.
My brain's thinking, you're too late. I already got this. Then I decided to get clever and attach a microphone to my computer at home after that first game so I can practice.
Yeah.
Then I forgot something. I didn't have a headset on like I do now. There were speakers, loud ones. And I woke up my mother saying, the first baseman, number 14, Paul Konerko. Mom comes downstairs and says, why do you have the game on so loud? Mom, that wasn't the game. That was me.
Love it.
No way that was you. She goes back upstairs. Like, all right, I'll fix you. Wait a few minutes, and I pick up the microphone and I turn it up a little more, and I go, designated hitter number 35, Frank Thomas. She comes flying down again. I told you to turn that damn game off. Mom, it's not the game. It's me doing that voice. I hear my dad go, Tiger, it's him. It's not a game. It's him. All you wouldn't know. Dad's giggling. I'm giggling. Like, all right, I'll fix you. And I waited. I waited until the perfect time when the White Sox won the World Series. I queued up the perfect sound and I played this.
A ground ball past Jenks up the middle of the infield. Uribe has it. He throws. Out! Out! A White Sox winner and a world championship. The White Sox have won the World Series, and they're mobbing each other on the field.
She does it again. She says, look, don't keep fooling me like this. I know that time it was you. Mom?
It actually wasn't.
And then Dad comes up behind me and whispers in my ear, don't say anything. And I had a small computer, a monitor, a mixer that was about this small.
Yeah.
And I had myself a ready-made studio. It was one of the most hideous things you've ever seen. But I made the darn thing.
So many parallels. Yeah, like my sister said, you were so proud of it. Yeah, at the time, I definitely was. It's like, I wonder if we can go through old photos and find it somewhere.
Wouldn't
there
you
has to
be
be a picture.
Wouldn't you be the first thing you ever built? First thing you ever done in an area where you wanted to be, and you're like, hell yeah, I'm proud of it.
See, I was an okay number 2 man. You know, like if dad would set up the saws, you know, the right way. It's all right. You know, you got to cut these. Like if he set it all up, I could do it. If I was left to do it myself, no. It's not going to go the way you draw it up. See, and that's why I like having these unscripted talks, because you never know what's going to surface as you're having the talk, right? Because like one thing I wanted to be too was an MC, and that like I've MC'd a few events. And there's an event that we do in April every year called the New England OCR Expo. So this is going to be my 4th year MCing that. But I also coach track and field.
Yes.
And at the track meets, you know, they usually have someone on the microphone. So it was our turn to host one in the spring. And so I was like, all right, the athletic director comes over to me. Well, the assistant AD, she comes over, she hands me a microphone. And she's like, are you comfortable on the microphone? And I just kind of smirked at her. Right? I said, just wait and see. Right? And so as the meet is going on, all of the other coaches are coming over saying, you need to be on the mic every meet, like every single meet. Because I just channeled that inner child that wanted to be an MC, and I just let it fly. Because like everyone else is like, you know, so-and-so is in the lead and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I made a whole production out of it. It was such a good time.
One of my favorite TV announcers is the late Charlie O'Donnell, who voiced Tic-Tac-Toe, Joker's Wild, and Wheel of Fortune. I frightened the daylights out of one of my first girlfriends when she said, she said to me, if you're going to be such an announcer trying to drip some derision into it, she said, why don't you copy one of the shows that's on right now? So old Brian decided to get even. Like, all right, watch this. So like I said, I waited and I waited and I waited. And we were watching Wheel of Fortune. Charlie O'Donnell was the announcer. And then I turned it off. I muted it, I should say. I muted the television. And then I said, over $245,000 just waiting to be won today on Wheel of Fortune.
Hello, Mom.
She never caught it.
No?
She never caught it was me. She said, okay, it's time for Wheel of Fortune. I got up and I left. I'm like, okay, she's going to be none the wiser So I'm going to get the hell out of here and escape while I have the opportunity.
And in that moment, you knew that you had the gift.
I knew it.
That's
I
awesome.
had the goods.
Okay.
And I knew my entire life I had the goods. There was another time I was doing a high school game, girls basketball, and it was senior night, and the feature player was Ashley Dukic. Her dad comes up to me and says, "You've been having fun with our name all year," and I'm already giggling. And he says, "How are you going to do it for her final game?" I got this evil smile on my face, and I said, "Hang tight. I got you." So it comes time for her to be announced, and I said, "At center, 6 feet tall and a senior, playing her final game, number 32, Ashley Dukic." Whole family dying.
See, and that's the stuff that people remember.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like they always say people may not always remember what you say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
Yes.
And that's so spot on.
It is.
All right.
It's very true.
So let's talk about your show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So like, how did you bring it to life?
Somebody dared me.
Really?
Because I was doing an afternoon show at the time. Wasn't gathering much success because it didn't have like a hook. It didn't have a catchy title or anything like that. So October 1st, 2013, I decided, okay, I'm going to try and do a show in the morning. See what happens. Oh boy. Didn't realize what I was creating. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even called Snowman in the Morning. I didn't name it until the second day. Okay. And it was only on for an hour. I had a mixer. I had the cords to plug into my laptop. I had a headset microphone and a handheld microphone. And I just decided to go for it. Little did I realize I was creating a monster. Okay. And I've had so many guests on over the years. I was still doing shows when I was homeless. I was still doing shows in the hospital after cancer surgery. I didn't let the grind stop. I mean, sometimes I get teased saying, "Well, you know, this is not going to turn into anything. This is not going to turn into anything because you're not getting paid for it." And I would always look at them and I go, "Yet." Mm-hmm. You know, and I even got that from Mom. I even got it from Mom, and I think that spurred me on more than anything else. Having her say, "Oh, you'll never make this pay off. Why don't you get a real job?" I've been barked at about that for many moons, many relationships. And here, my wife, Jody, says, "You better make this work or I'm whooping your ass." And of course, she's totally kidding as she says that, but it's like her way of motivating me. And after I started Snowman in the Morning in 2013, it's had a lot of starts, stops, ups, downs, ins, outs, whatever. But here we are in season 11.
Nice.
Doing Snowman in the Morning, 5 days a week, 3 hours a day. And I have a ball doing it, especially with the crew that I have now. And there's my brother Sick Diggy from Norway. He's tuning us in. What's up, Sick?
Nice.
What's up, Sick?
Hit that like button. Those of you watching on the live, hit that like button, please. Help a brother out.
Yes.
Right? Help me out with that algorithm.
Yes, please. This is a powerful show, folks. And the title says it all. The lefts, the rights, the uppercuts. Matter of fact, let me go back to my soundboard here. You know, I've taken a whole lot of and people going and to get through everything. Yeah. You know, and I've had to spin this around many times. And it would end with and then I think as the clock was running. But then Dave Martinez, manager of the Washington Nationals, said it best.
We stayed in the fight. We won the fight.
On every day. I won the fight.
So before you continue, because you unpacked three very big things that we kind of glossed over. That you were homeless, that you had cancer surgery.
Yep.
And we can talk about the people like, the naysayers doubting that you could do it. So, so which happened first, the homelessness or the cancer surgery?
Homelessness.
Okay, and how did that come to be?
Well, one, I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I got married the first time.
Okay.
Secondly, I said, I'm going to make it on my own somehow. And I don't want people telling me what I have to do. The most recent bout came in 2018 before I met Jody, before I met my wife. And I thought that was going to be it for me. I thought, I'm homeless. I'm sitting in the Starbucks. I'm trying to get my show going. I'm trying to get a play-by-play schedule going. I don't know what to do. I was right on the edge of that cliff.
Yeah.
And I was ready to step over and not look back. And then I sent a message to Jody because we met online. I swear it was like she raced the clock and pulled me back. It's like she said, I don't know you, but I need you.
Yeah.
I was in July of 18. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. I mean it.
See, so, okay. Awesome. You know what? Similarly, just last year, I lost everything myself just last year. And like I bounced around in hotels for a minute. And then I swallowed my pride and I called my mom. I was like, can I come back home? First time ever going back home. And, I had a pity party for a little bit. And then I reminded myself, I'm like, you have a whole show called Shut Up and Grind. So like we're in a valley and you got to take everything that you've done to reach every peak that you've ever reached. I said, and we got to go. So I restarted the show because I canceled it at first. I'm like, how can I give a show when I'm in the dumps right now? But that first episode back, it's like, how your wife said she needed you. The guest, like I needed that guest, because at the end of that episode, it just relit everything. And like I went up to my high school, I started coaching again. Coaching relit my passion for fitness again. And then the first gym I set foot into, I hit the jackpot. The very first one. And one thing people who listen to this show all the time, I always say, when you're on fire, you can't see the fire. If you can't see it, you can't put it out. So meaning when you only focus on your struggles, you can't see the opportunities that are waving at you. And I was in that place where I was like, how did I let this happen? I messed up my credit. I had to drain all my savings and I walked away from my business. I dropped the keys on the desk and just left. And it's like, I allowed myself for that split second to get to that dark place where, like you, for a split second, I was like, if I can find my blood pressure meds, I'm taking all of them. It was just for that split second. Fortunately, I couldn't find them. so that's the universe telling me, or whatever you believe in, it ain't your time, bro. It ain't your time. Get your stuff together. And then this would just be added to the strength of my story, the things I've already been through. So I definitely identify with you on that. And, you get to that place and just sometimes the right person comes at the right time. And it's like after that episode, like literally everything fell into line so quickly. And I was able, like I said 2022, I lost sight. 2023, I lost it all and had to rebuild. 2024, I'm putting all the pieces together. In 2025, we're going to thrive.
Yep. 2025, we are going to thrive, man. I mean, 21, I got diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. As a matter of fact, let me just tell what happened to me in 3 years.
Okay.
And this all started in 21. Blood clots in both lungs. Dealt with that, had surgery, and beat that. A month later, got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, turned into stage 4 pancreatic cancer. We had to move from North Carolina back to Indiana. Wife started working. We had health insurance. Met my oncologist. My oncologist said, let me make a phone call. Made a phone call to the fellow who had performed the surgery to save my life, Dr. Antilla Nakib, and I'll never forget him. And he takes a paper towel when we go to meet him in Indianapolis, and he starts drawing the organs, where everything is. I looked him in the eye and I said, can you get this or not? And as soon as he nodded and said, we'll get it.
Love it.
Did the surgery April 4th, 2022. And that was one of the few times I was sad I was not missing the men's national championship that night because I had a bigger fight to win.
Yes.
Like, I didn't care about Kansas nor North Carolina. I just wanted to see my family. When they brought me in the ICU, I saw Jody, my wife. I saw my in-laws, and my brain thinks, we're good. We're back. We can go to sleep. And I did. I went to sleep. Next day, my daughter calls me. She rings me through Facebook, and she says, do you need me to come up there? And I'm crying at this point. I said, yes. She hung up and flew up here from Los Angeles. And I wake up the next day and I see Cheyenne walking into my room, and I'm going, okay, I know I'm going to be in better hands. Then went through all that, went through the recovery, and then I lost my right big toe to amputation.
Oh my God. All right, hold on. Pause right there. Right toe to amputation. All right, so this is your brother again. Yeah, so if you want to come on and share your story, send me an email, rob@robertbfoster.com. Right?
Share your story,
and share your story. Because as it says right up here, your true power lies in your story. So there's somebody out there right now that needs to hear your story like only you can tell it. So if you want to share it, come on. And again, those of you who are watching, hit that like button, please, 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 right? Help us out with the algorithm. All right, so you lost your right big toe to amputation. What happened there?
My dog. I have a horrible case of neuropathy.
Okay.
I went to sleep one night, woke up the next morning, getting ready to go pick up my daughter from work, and then I looked down and realized my toe's missing. My dog Lucy, bless her heart, thought there was something wrong with Daddy, and tried to fix it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
She tried to fix it and she ate it.
Oh my God.
Simply put. And I had to deal with it because I didn't like the terminology, but that's what happened. And when my doctor used the word amputation, it broke me.
How so?
It mentally. Okay. Mentally and emotionally, it just broke me, and I started crying. And my doctor said, I didn't realize it would have that effect on you. And my mind's thinking, me neither, because no one in the hospital used the word.
Yeah.
No one in the hospital used the word amputation. But that's what happened. So I'm bouncing back from that. I'm bouncing back from the cancer. I hate being disabled, but I'm bouncing back from that too. When I've had to lean on, give me a moment.
That's all right. Take your time.
For the last 2+ years, I've had to lean on Cash App donations to get me through and to help my wife. And that's all I want to do. I want to help my wife. I want to give her and my family Christmas this year. I really do. I want that. I want that chance. I got some opportunities, but need more help, man. And it's tough sometimes when I think about it. And sometimes I think, why is this happening to me? But then I think, how am I think, why is this happening to me? And then sometimes I think, how am I bouncing back from it? And then I think, I turn that question into a statement. I am bouncing back from it. And Jody tells me all the time, keep putting it out there. Keep putting your Patreon out there. Keep putting the ways people can contribute to you out there. And
let me answer that. Let me answer that question for you. You know why it's happening to you? Because you can handle it. Okay, like not everybody can handle adversity. I mean, you've gotten through cancer, you've gotten through homelessness, you've gotten through being disabled, right? Now you just got to package that story in a way where a news station will pick it up, because that's all that you can change your situation in 48 hours. If you take from today on and pitch every single news station in your area, pitch that story. If you don't know how to write the pitch, go to AI. Go to ChatGPT, write in what your story is, and the AI will write your pitch. I'm telling you, it's like you're right on the doorstep. It can happen that fast. Like whenever people come to me with struggles, it's like, don't talk to me about the struggle. Talk to me about how you got through it. Right? Because that's where the power is. It's like when you heard you had stage 4 cancer, you know how many people would have just prepared to die? So many people would have just prepared to die. But I tell people, no matter what you're dealing with, how you think will describe your healing. Like I started this show because I was told I would never run or jump again. And 190 races and 16 gold medals later, here we are.
Yep.
Know what I mean? So it's like, just because someone, even a doctor, and I always have to put in the disclaimer, I'm not telling people don't listen to your doctor.
Right.
But the healing starts with you. Like what you believe, you're going to speak that outcome right into existence. Right. So you have a fabulous, compelling and a story that can help people transform. It's like you package that in the right way, and we can talk about this once we go off the air.
All right.
And I can help you package that. Like that's literally what I do outside of fitness, is help people take their story and turn it into something amazing. Like I said, when I was pimping my book in the beginning, that's exactly what that book is designed to do, to take you through your struggles and turn it into something powerful. So not to turn this into a coaching session, but you asked the question. So I was like, you know what? I have an answer for you. So why not share it? Here, my sister's got some words for you too. Not disabled, just a little different than before. I like that. I love that reframe. And your words and your perseverance are your power, not your toe. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So after everything I just said, what are your thoughts on that?
I love it. Just staying in that positive mindset and that forward mindset.
Yep. Yeah. Because after losing everything last year, I was like, you know what? I'm unbreakable. I am absolutely unbreakable. But even though for a split second, I thought I was. I thought it's like, is this worth it? I'm like, my kids are split up. I lost my business. Like my fitness clients, they were like my family, and I had to walk away from them. At the time, I was 48 years old, going to live with my mommy. Right. And it's like that stigma. How am I going to be perceived? It's like, wait a minute. I've gone my whole life not caring what other people think about me.
Right.
So I'm like, why am I going to start that now? And then my goal for 2025 is to earn as close to $1 million as possible. And when I write my second book, it's going to be titled From My Mother's Basement. Right? So I'm taking my circumstance, and we're going to spin that in a way that's still going to inspire other people. All right, he just sent an email. Perfect. All right, good. So I'll send you the booking link for that. And it must say been there. Yeah, like in most people have been there, but a lot of people are afraid to say it publicly. Out of fear of judgment. Like, I don't worry about the people who judge me or don't like what I have to say. I worry about the ones who message me afterwards and be like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. Like when you're in this inspiration game, this podcasting game, there's really 2 ways to go. Well, 3 ways to go: entertainment, education, or sports. It's like, I know sports is entertainment also, but
it is
like there are people that just do, like, you go on TikTok, you see all kinds of wild stuff on there. So,
oh my gosh, yes.
So I take entertainment and sports entertainment. I personally have them as separate categories. So, all right, let me get off my soapbox here. So what's next for you?
7 figures in 6 months.
Okay, I like it.
7 figures in 6 months.
So now, deeper than the money, right? Because it's got to be deeper than the money. Because I know I said I want to get as close to $1 million as possible, but what's going to drive that is I have to help thousands of people overcome self-doubt.
Same.
Like that's what I really want to leave behind. Because that you can leave, like if I help that many people, and if I die at 52 or 53, 55, I left a huge enough sample size, 300 in by then. It'll be over 400 podcast episodes. It'll be 2 books and things that are going to help people long after I'm gone. You know, because the money is only good for you while you're alive. Obviously, you can leave it to your family, but still. But that purpose, helping somebody find out who they are, find out what they're meant to do, help them break free from a toxic relationship, or help them break free from a toxic workplace, or just their own toxicity, just not believing in themselves. You know, helping people do that, that's far greater than any dollar amount that I can be paid.
That's what I've had to do. Believe in myself and believe in my product again.
Yes.
Because for the longest time, I didn't. After all the health struggles and the mental struggles, and believe me, folks, with men, the mental struggles are very real.
Yes.
Men are just taught as a society, you can't say anything. I don't buy that. Matter of fact, I'm working on a book of my own, Diary of a Mad Snowman.
Love it.
It's being voiced right now. I should have it completed by the end of January. And I got a friend that's transcribing it into a book.
Awesome.
And it's only the first one. It's only the first one, first of 3 in the series.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it, I imagine it, and now I'm speaking it.
See, and that's the key. I tell people vision, drive, perseverance. If you have those 3 things, doesn't matter your skin color, doesn't matter your gender, doesn't matter your sexual orientation, your religion, none of that stuff matters.
None of that
if
matters.
You have a vision, drive, perseverance. You can accomplish literally anything.
Yep.
Yeah, and Monique, absolutely. Like in life, in fitness, you know, my athletes at the track, it's like watching people get it. That's the biggest reward. Absolutely agree 100%. Say, like, if I can give you a piece of advice, try to combine the 2. You know, try to combine the 2 of your struggles with your sports show. Combine the 2. Like make that a platform to where men who are struggling, you know, they can, I don't know, you can figure out how you want to combine the 2, but I think your home run is if you combine the 2.
Yeah.
You know, get men to talk. Because as you said, society tries to tell men you're not supposed to talk, you're not supposed to cry. But why do we have tear ducts if we're not supposed to cry?
Exactly.
Right? But if you make that a place where men can come, you can talk about sports and you can talk about your personal struggles. And that'll help you heal yourself or continue healing yourself. And I think that's something that's unique in the sports entertainment space. So
yeah.
You know,
that's very unique because it's not just all about sports with me.
Yeah.
It's about hearing stories and sharing them. That's what it's all about for me.
Yeah. Like when I first started this, it was actually called Shut Up and Exercise. And then just as I started bringing guests on, you know, like a lot of people turn to fitness because they're going through something. Again, like a divorce, a layoff. You know, like there's so many different things. You know, they get high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and some type of illness, and they're looking for an outlet. And so, like once I started getting into those stories, I said we have to take this and make it something bigger than just fitness.
Right.
And I figured out that, you know, the grind is global, the struggle is global. Pain is global. Rebuilding yourself is global. So I've had guests from all over the world on this show, and the things that I've heard. But you know what's constant? Doesn't matter if you're in any of the six of the 7 continents, because I haven't gotten anyone from Antarctica yet. But like
yet being the operative word,
absolutely, is the daily struggles to get back to where you were. That's what, like, doesn't matter what the source of the pain is, how you have to wake up every day and you have to crush that day to make it to the next.
Yes.
You know, like I spoke to this guy from Argentina. It was a tough episode because, you know, he had broken English, but everything that he said was in alignment with what I just said. And I spoke to a woman in Thailand who had the same struggles as the woman from India, who had the same struggles as the women I spoke to that are in Israel right now, dealing with the war. So it's like, doesn't matter what the source of the pain is. You inspire with how you get through the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, and I know I keep going off on my tangents, but when people are in pain, it's like that's what brings out the coach mode, and to just see you get emotional there was like, let me just take this moment and just show you how you can repackage that, and I won't send you an invoice afterwards. Oh man. All right, so give us some final words, because we're creeping up on the hour here. So like when people listen to you, what do you want their takeaway to be? Not even so much here. Like when you do your show, like what do you want their takeaway to be?
What do I want their takeaway to be? I stayed in the fight. I won the fight. And I leave y'all with the immortal words of the late Robert Montgomery Knight.
When my time on earth is gone and my activities here are past, I want they bury me upside down and my critics can kiss my...
That was Bobby Knight, you said, right?
Yep.
I remember that one.
When my time on earth is gone and my activities here are past, I want they bury me upside down and my critics can kiss my ass. I also leave you with the words of Nipsey Russell. Put a thing off till tomorrow and you live your life in vain. Do it today, and if you like it, tomorrow you can do it again.
Yeah, see, I like that. I'd rather end on that note.
Yes.
So
yes.
That quote from Bobby Knight talks about his critics.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what do you want your supporters to take away?
I kept going. I kept grinding. From I can't to I will.
Yeah.
From I will to I must. From I must to it's done.
Love it.
Period.
Awesome. Well, Brian, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
I'll definitely have you on again. And I usually do panels every now and then on Mondays. So if you're free for the next one I do, or within the next couple, like I pick a central topic. Like this was the last one I did. Mm-hmm. It was myself plus 4 other people. We talked about embracing vulnerability, and we just go round table. It's a great one, and the panels always hit hard. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and I'll get you on one.
Done.
All right, love
Done.
it. All right, so don't sign off yet, because I want to talk to you after we stop the live.
Okay.
All right, but take care and have a good day.
You've been listening to Shut Up and Grind. We hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from this show. Robert has over 20 years' experience pouring his knowledge and expertise at many events in the service and fitness industry, as well as secondary schools and universities. He has a true passion for helping others break through the barriers that are holding them back. To book Robert B. Foster to speak or to reach out, go to robertbfoster.com. Till next time.